point. And as for wings, they have Bat Rider. I imagine OG's going to try to get something to deal with the lasso here. So Venge or Oracle will be the two heroes I have my eyes on for them. Heroes that Fly definitely likes to play. And I'm expecting to crit Elder Titan.
Boots, and then you get armlet, and then helm with the Dominator, and you just try to go ham on that Huskar, and it very well could come out right now.
Late game Sven will, with equal farm, generally be able to deal with a Huskar quite easily, especially when he's also going to have Bloodlust.
I think Huskar is also very good with Elder Titan and with this one Chronosphere if you have like a Dragon Dance too, if you want to go for that route.
Warcry is very good against Natural Order as well. Even though all your base armor is removed, you have tons of plus armor that is not.
Yep.
So I like the pick there. I'm still not 100% sold on this.
Yeah, there it is. And yeah, you called it.
I don't think Wings should. If they're surprised, then shame on them because they should not be at this point. They know OG like to run Huskar. The draft clearly sets up for it. When you ban Timbersaw, that's a very telltale sign that you're considering the Huskar, especially when you have Void. Normally, Timbersaw is great with Void. So,
what do you ban now for OG to make sure that Huskar has an even better time?
So what do they need here? They likely want the mid hero, Link.
Right.
What deals well with Huskar that can go mid?
Maybe you can kite him with no, not really with Life Break. It's kind of hard to kite that hero.
Yeah. TA has a really bad matchup in lane. I
mean,
used to see a lot of
Huskar just owns a lot of heroes in mid, honestly, or in general. Doesn't matter.
Let me bring up the heroes list here.
The thing.
But I am quite. The other thing is he is weak in the early laning stage. So perhaps what Wings is planning is just insane aggression on him, like running an aggressive tri-lane. As scary as Huskar is, once he gets armlet, once he gets like level 7 to 9 or so, those first couple of levels, he is quite vulnerable. So,
yes, absolutely.
Their plan may be more just to run at him early. They're going to ban a Juggernaut now, so that's a hero that can sustain a push, can allow you to take Roshan early, and again also buffs up the Huskar in his
Healing
own
Ward in combination with a False Promise is a very strong duel. So. I mean, they only have roughly about 20 seconds here to decide what they want to ban, and I'm just trying to figure out what, because you don't need to ban any supports. There is already the Viper was something I was going to bring up. I swear, that seemed like a matchup that might be somewhat okay, or might be later on down the road pretty good against kiting him. And
you can kite him pretty effectively. OD gives you a lot of pure damage.
I'm interested in an OD pick.
OD is also pretty good against Chronosphere. You have a save with the Astral if he doesn't get caught. And I think they do want a second damage dealer, so...
Is that one of the heroes that wasn't picked up in the I feel like? Or
I don't think it's been picked yet here.
I don't think OD's been picked here. Maybe it's the plague words and slow. No, it's just the venom scale. I spoke too soon. All right, to be fair, I haven't seen a lot of Venomancer in my
the poison stain as well, right?
It does slow. Okay, I was right, and I second guessed myself. And that's shouldn't
never second guess.
Yeah, I should have just went with it.
Shame on you, Travis.
I know.
I have faith in you. Heroes.
You're not really super interested
Death
in magic
Prophet
damage heroes?
has, I guess DP can. So,
yes, I would think so. They're gonna take her though.
I was actually wondering to take her for OG, having seen the Void picked up.
There is pure damage from the Tinker, I believe.
Yeah, you have the blind is really good against Huskard. So
which one of them is pure?
It's the laser.
That's what I think.
Yeah, the blind from the laser is really good. Pure damage with laser. Still though, it's not an overwhelming amount of pure damage. But
could be more.
I think what you're gonna see from Wings, more importantly than how do their cores match up against Huskar, is the movement of the support duo. These are two very aggressive supports. Why on the Skywrath, Ice Ice on the Ogre. Expect to see them roaming a lot, applying a lot of pressure. They might even go aggressive tri-lane, because you could run like the Bat versus Void, and then Skywrath, Sven, Ogre against the Huskar. It looks like a Huskar safe lane with a Veno likely going mid for no tail, and you're just spamming plague boards and being annoying. So we will see, but I expect Wings to be very aggressive with the support duo. Either that or just dual roaming constantly.
Well, we get another hero added to the pool. I'm almost certain Venomancer has not been picked yet so far in TI, and I'm very excited to see it being played by none other than No Tail, grabbing that hero and heading down to the bottom lane right now. But we're getting into the player introductions, and we'll go through both lineups as Wings. A young team, 17-year-old from Innocence, 20-year-old from Ice Ice, so a bit of a young squad. Not to say that OG is a bit older, but they do have young players in their own right, including Miracle.
They might be young, but they play with veteran toys.
They really do.
Sure, they've had their clowny games, but they've also clutched some games that looked completely over.
Yeah.
And in recent history, too.
I mean, I think the average age there was like 18 to 20 or something like that, but yeah, on the other side, I mean...
Definitely a lot more experience on OG coming from Fly and No Tail. These guys have been around the block.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not that old, but they've been playing competitively for, I think, like 5-6 years now, if you include their Han experience.
It's really
as well.
surprising they're only 22 and 23. I thought they might be a little bit older than that. Moon's actually the oldest one.
That's true. Moon has been around the block.
Yeah, he's a bit older. He's played, of course, his fair share of Dota and Dota-type games, so we'll see what impact he has, of course, in this game, flying none other than the Faceless Void, so we'll check out how things are going. They get a nice ward up here on the Aegis stack, as Rubus did point out, of course, on the Radiant side, getting some vision there. Looks like the Tinker will grab the bottom room spot, and the top will be grabbed by the Venomancer, and No Tail is going to be that mid hero. I'm a bit afraid for this Venomancer. You get up, if you go for that early like 2-2 build for the Tinker, or even like 2-3, you could die very quickly as a Venomancer. You don't have that much HP, and there's no way to survive an onslaught of laser and heat-seeking missiles from a Tinker. It's just a lot of damage over a short period of time.
Yeah, Tinker's also, if you have quick reactions, you can make some big plays, like baiting out the Void Chrono, blinking out before Huskar's life break hits you, and then dragging him quite far away from the fight. So there's some potential for Blink to outplay OG. This first level or two, it should be very easy for him against the Veno, but once the wards get to level 2, level 3, that's where things do get ugly. Bottom lane, they're looking for the damage on Moon. Okay, so running the safe lane dual lane, they are going to give Huskar free farms. They know there will be a fast armlet timing. They have Ice Ice already set up to start doing some stacking. So not pressuring the lanes with the Ogre right now, as he will deward that Observer. Yeah, good job by the Ogre getting rid of that.
I mean, we're so used to seeing Ice Ice head into, or any Ogre for that matter, head into the mid lane or any other lane early on and just try to find a kill. And bottom lane, they might have been able to do so with Fire Blast against Moon. Again, it's level 1 time walk. Fortune said top lane, the Faith Beyond is going to go to work as while bottom there's some great happening with Moon. The Stormhammer will go, but he's fine. It looks like he'll be able to.
He's still Fire Blast, not Ignite. Generally, you do see Ignite.
Fire Blast. Yeah, he's got it. You're right.
It's more damage and it allows you to get off more overall attacks.
Innocence gonna die? Yeah, he bought out.
He used all his mana, so he just suicides to neutrals for the free trip back.
And so Moon now has a bit more room to work with before he TP's back in like a second.
But Moon's out of region. This is a pretty cool play. You do see support suicide for the free CP, but you rarely see them just spam their mana pull out and then suicide just to get more mana at this stage of the game. But with how cheap TPs are now, it's actually quite cost effective, and you're level 1. It takes no time for you to respawn.
And
so.
No-Tail is he's having a very rough time in his mid lane. No-Tail currently at CSP 11 of the Tinkering.
It will get easier. Once the wards are high level, doesn't matter if you blind the Benno hero, the wards will do the last hitting for you. But yeah, like I said, the first couple levels are very easy for Blank, and he is taking full advantage of that time.
Absolutely. We'll wait and see. Assuming No-Tail doesn't go down in that period of time. He's level 3 right now, and you can see that Blink is running a little bit low on mana, but he does have level 2 laser and level 1
Courier snipe mid lane.
It's a potential chance. His Innocence is going to come through. He's got plenty of range, and one right click will do the job. And on it was a stick and a set of tango for No-Tail. And he's got no more regen with the exception of that Fairy Fire.
Oh man, that's pretty brutal. So level 2 wards, you can just sit back. Blink is out of mana for now, but his bottle is coming out.
Not to mention,
this is a great time to try and roam on No-Tail.
He is getting roamed on as we speak, or at least.
But it's very difficult. It's very difficult to gank Benno. With all the wards sitting there, one of them's likely going to hit you first. They slow you down. Fry.
He is level 2 poison as well as level 2 wards, so he's starting to get up to that point. Meanwhile, Crit spots out Ice Ice. Not only that, but he spots out the Bat Ride as well. The Stomp and it hit Faith Beyond. That is a kill, and that is your first blood. But unfortunately, it's not the case. Crit was just off the mark barely, but that's...
He also did not steal any major creep there, so that's a big win.
The Bat Rider looks like he's just saying, hey, it's time to jungle. Level 2 Firefly, level 1 Sticky Tom, I got plenty.
And they're going to get the lane to Ice Ice here. It's a dire Observer Ward, so they know he's alone. Fly is going on him.
He just doesn't have damage. He needs one more Purifying Flame. He's out of range, and he will get the kill. Fly with just enough range to get that Purifying Flame kill. That was close.
It looked like he was out of that.
Yeah, that was the longest range Purifying Flame thing I've seen in a while.
Gotta respect the Oracle's damage output, though. It's even just the level 2 Purifying Flames. With such a low cooldown, it's incredibly hard.
All right, No-Tail getting back into it, as you talked about. Now, still level 2, both Plague Wars and Poison Sting, but he's starting to even things up here to see if things can change. And they do have the Courier coming back out as well for No-Tail. There's going to be a Stomp coming through. It's going to hit perfectly. No Venomous Gale. So he really just has to right-click him, and then with the blind, of course, coming at him, he's No-Tail immediately has to back up. Forced rotation from the Skyrat. Not only that, but they also had Ice Ice coming in as well.
That's a big win for OG. Crit just ambles on the mid lane, forces 2 heroes to come to support. There's nobody laning top right now. Wings, though, spending a lot of time stacking, but the Ancients are not cooperating. This damn Ancient Black Drake chilling there, preventing the triple stack. So
yeah, that's...
they're running a very, like, jungle-oriented lineup. You're going to see Sven farming Ancients, Tinker farming stacks in his own jungle, as well as he has gone for 2 points of margin, and Bat Rider who wants to clear them. But being denied stacks or OG having vision / invading the jungle, these are priorities for their draft heading towards the mid game.
Shadow up to 37 last hits right now, and again, like you talked about, the Ancient stacks and just general jungle stacks are going to be very important later on down the road. Offlaner, Faith Beyond is sitting currently at 24 last hits, so that's the power of the jungle. As we've talked about, 800 gold currently. Now, Ice Ice chasing Crit down, or vice versa. I don't know what's going on. There is a ring around the rosy happening, whatever you want to call it. They'll finally meet towards the secret shop and
gives him the club.
He says, here, I'm going to hit you with a little love tap, and you can be on your way. And he'll rotate mid, that's Crit, but there is a ward there. It's an Observer Ward for the Radiant Squad, not to mention a Sentry, so even an Invid Room is going to be negated, more than likely by Wings, but no real kills other than that Purifying Flames death top lane. There's the God Strength bottom, as Shadow will now go to work on taking down the first tower of the game, LD.
And Moon has no ability to stop this on his own. If they want to contest this at all, they will need a support to come in. Not level 6 yet.
He gets storm
He has
hammered.
no damage. He has no boots there in the stash right now. But Wing's attention is elsewhere. Smoked up, heading on mid.
They're looking to wrap around. Lasso should not be available, and it is not for the Batrider, but they're going to come in, and No-Tail is in trouble. It's not level 6 yet. It's very close. Look at that damage coming out as they get off the silence. The Ancient Seal amps everything up, and the Firefly burns him very quickly, roasts, and poor Venomancer dies pretty much instantly.
Venom's one of those mids that you don't really care too much if he dies, as he's mainly there for the wards. He can always catch up and farm the jungle if need be. Blink, though, gets stomped in the mid lane. He's going to turn on crit here. Should be okay.
Yeah.
But really, the OG game plan hinges on Huskar getting fat and then everything around him. Chronosphere to set him up for kills, try to take the tier 1 mid and bottom so they can go grab an Aegis. If Veno has a good start, that's a bonus, but the keys are much more getting the Huskar off to a good start, getting levels on Elder Titan, Oracle, and so far OG are accomplishing the game plan. Fly is almost level 6 already in the Oracle, so I think OG are actually overall strategically fine with the way the game's developed. They're still down a bit when it comes to gold, but Wings have a fairly greedy draft. Tinker and Sven need a lot of farm, they need a lot of time before they're fully ready to engage, and OG are still getting the Huskar off to a good start.
It's actually funny, the armlets came out moment for moment on both the Sven as well as the Huskar. Obviously, the Huskar getting it very, not super surprising, but the armlet for the Sven a little bit more uncommon, with the Dominator being the general choice. He will take down the tier 1 towers, so again, it's a mirrored matchup between these carry players.
I actually prefer the armlet a lot here because it suits the Huskar's tempo a lot better. If you go Dominator, you then need at least one more item before you're fighting, probably 2, but getting armlet, he can go directly, he can get lifesteal if he wants from here, but if he's forced to come to fights during this window for the next couple minutes, he actually is a threat. Whereas with the Dominator, you're likely just going to be focused and die right away.
Yeah,
and if he wants to just skip the Dominator entirely, he can go directly into the Echo Saber, the BKB, the Blink, items like this that allow him to actually man-fight a Huskar.
He might need some lifesteal to do these ancients, but then again, with God's Strength, it dies so fast anyways that he might not need it.
Just let the Ogre tank. Throw the beefcake.
I'm sure
he won't even feel pain
not
anymore.
tanky enough, but they are going to smoke up and they're going to wrap, and I think Blink might have spotted this out. And it's going to be the Chronosphere as Moon comes in. Miracle will come through as well. He's got the Spirits, he's got Life Break. They even ulti on Shadow as well, and Prince looking for that stomp. He's got it ready to go. The 410 first. Will hit up, the stomp will fall up next. And now it actually misses. Leave the lasso back down.
Fly's cut out of position. That means Huskar's going to have to be more careful. Miracle does not have his Oracle to keep him alive. That probably ends the push for OG. At least until the Oracle respawns. Miracle very low. That was still a very big kill there on the Tinker, though. He was closing in on the Boots of Travel. I think he spent his gold right before dying, but still, it's going to be a ways off. And VOCs are something you really want against this type of draft, just so you can more easily slow down the push. Being able to constantly go back to Fountain, heal up, or regen your mana, and then come back. Pray. That is how you slow down the freight train that is a Huskar siege.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I do want to point out Moon's Chronosphere was really great. I mean, he got the Tinker on the back end, so Miracle, when he wraps around, he's able to find a nice little easy amount of damage. And here's that exactly what you were talking about, the March. Although it is magical and he's got 3 points of Berserker's Blood, so plenty of resistance for Miracle.
But Laser alone will slow this siege.
Yes.
Even if you don't kill Miracle, he's blinded, he will be missing. And the blind is quite a long duration. 3 seconds even at level 1, it goes all the way up to 4.5 seconds with a 14-second cooldown, so about a third of the time that the Huskar with the right foot, you can. And that's, the rest of the time maybe you're lassoing him, stunning him, so you can really limit the siege potential with this.
It's starting to feel like OG really want to push down the tier 1 tower, but it's not going to happen, and the March is just stalling them completely.
Base Beyond moving in bottom.
But it's probably trouble. They have the lasso ready to I don't need to use it, but he will nonetheless. Should be a kill with the flame break, and of course there's the sticky napalm shell. That is pro. Base Beyond getting up to a killing spree for himself, and pretty nice amount of gold going his way.
I'm gonna see Sven working on these Ancients now. One more stack, and he won't get it. Twice now that Ancient Drake has screwed him over.
He needs to just kill that stack so he can get on with another stack, honestly, at this point.
Death to all Drakes.
Yeah, I'd be pretty frustrated. He's going in with it. God's Strength, armlets up. He's got the Ogre Club. I would not be surprised to see that Echo Saber coming out for Shadow at this point, as you had alluded to, Elton. And there it is. He's got the quarterstaff. So yeah, you're right. Right on the money. It's going to be Armlet into Echo Saber 4. That's Sven.
If the Huskar gets caught in a bad position and gets hit by like a double Echo Saber auto attack with a laser, and there's not a good armlet toggle or save by fly or potentially the void, then they will be able to kill him. They have the damage to do it, but that's the thing is OG have those annoying heroes that can allow Huskar to reset. The Oracle, the Void, even the Elder Titan to some extent. And they also do have the dire advantage here. They're going to move towards the pit, working on the Roshan.
One of the most important things they can do is
they don't even have BOTs yet on the Tinker. I don't really think Wings can contest.
They might have seen them head over from the ramp of the...
They're just not good at walking in the pit. You have Beno Wards to scout things out. They don't have a hero like Elder Titan to initiate from a safe distance. Batrider can walk in, but they're trying for it.
Miracle is low. Flame Break's gonna push him off the cliff. No, Miracle, Firefly. Oh, they get off the false promise in time. The Ignite Heat life breaks down to the low ground. He should still fall though here. I think taking too much damage. He barely survives the Purifying Flames. Enough of a heal. Fly saving the day. After an immaculate play from Faith Beyond, that was...
Oh my god.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, single-handedly stops the Roche with a flame break, though. That is sick stuff there. And this buys time. I think Blink BOTs are flying out now. Here can come to this fight.
Yeah, he's...
OG might actually have a rumble on their hands. I still don't know how good they're going to be around the pit, though. They have to deal with the Venom Wards, the Chronosphere. I still think it's very risky for Wings to take it, but OG have other plans.
Might not be around the pit, LG. They're going to head into the jungle, and OG are looking for that Chronosphere. Faith Beyond's going to walk up, and he's going to get caught. Light Break will go. Jump in Chrono onto 2. Faith Beyond lasso is up, but he will fall. They get off the ultimate from No-Tail as well, and it looks like it will be free. Then Miracle getting low. There's the Faith Heat and Eyesight about to go down. No-Tail getting caught by Shadow, and they deal with this fence. The laser comes in and Blink with the mark. Moon has to escape, and it turns into a 3-for-3 as Wings with Shadow and Tinker alone. They are able to actually help out and even this fight up.
3 for 3 is fine for Wings. They keep the Tinker and the Sven alive, and they stop OG from roaching. So with Chrono on cooldown now, Wings get a window. They have BOTs. The Sven is quite farmed, so he can go back to clearing out stacks. And I don't think OG can easily take Roche without a Chrono. It's very risky to walk into the pit. You're basically just banking on Wings, not contesting at that point. If they do, quite likely Wings could take the fight. So, I mean, for me, the big thing there was Oracle being out in front. Fly gets caught. I don't think was expecting the Sven to just run in and hit him, but he died in 2 auto attacks. So, positioning will be important for OG, and what helps with that is vision. But they rely on the Elder Titan and the Venom Wards for vision. The wards are okay. They don't have the best vision radius, but you know, I say they won't go for Rush. They don't have Chrono, but they're still walking right back in.
Yeah, they really want to take this as early as possible, but this is going to mean that their pushing happen elsewhere. Shadow's going to work at the Tier 1 tower.
And Beyond is not having this, though. He's like, you want to go for Roche? Ain't gonna happen.
Flame break, though. It's not as good of a flame break as the first one was for Grace.
They're wrapping around, though.
Roche is slow, not dead yet. Sven is picked up that Tier 1 tower, might rotate over the Roche pit now.
They have no Firefly, though. I think with that Firefly, Universe is going.
There it is. Huskar has picked up the Aegis. The concussive shot will go along with an Arcane Bolt or 2, but that should be the end of it. I don't know. They're coming up to the high ground. Potentially Miracle thought about walking up there, but he realizes there's a couple of heroes in the vicinity. They have the Vlad now.
Blink has his namesake now.
Certainly does. That's a huge item for...
He wants to pop the Aegis. This is really tempting.
He's going to go for the laser. Yeah.
That's not happening.
Missiles, it just doesn't do enough damage with the level 4 Berserker's Blood. It's just not enough.
Still, I feel like Wayne's have really broken the OG tempo here. They're downing gold. Oh, big jump bottom.
They're going to go with the life break in. Now the teams are going to come through, though. Yep. Blink coming in. False Promise will come out. They get the stop off, and Blink is in a lot of trouble. Fortune's End will come through. The blind is still there. The Chrono does hit onto it. It's barely, as well as Faith Beyond. Here comes the Earth Splitter. Will hit on the 2. It's just the 1, but Faith Beyond is low. Moon in trouble. Ancient Seal is out there. They're chasing down Innocence, LG.
Might lose Faith Beyond as well. The stomp just a short. He dodges out of the pass zone. They are pushing the top lane during this time. God Strength pulling down in 3 seconds.
He beat in.
And he wants to slow this down.
He used to keep, but
Ogre's coming back.
Ooh, good ultimate. No-Tail though. The Echo Saber, he's in trouble. They're gonna have a Fire Blast. There it is.
He needs to get out though. TPs are coming. Boy, no Chrono. He's gonna have to get a first hit back. Well, or you can just go for Ice Ice.
That works too. Time dilation there. It's going to slow him down a fair bit, but I don't think Moon alone can do this.
Moon is like a wet noodle right now.
Yeah, he just does. I mean, against Ice Ice with plenty of armor, 13 in fact, it's not enough. No way.
I'm not sure about trying to defend bottom in that position. I think the Tinker was expecting that he'd be able to run away in time. A little bit slow to laser Miracle, so he got a bunch of auto attacks out and was not expecting to get stomped by the Elder Titan. But they still get a kill in the Veno top lane.
Yes.
They lose only the tier 1 for now. This is a window where OG need to get a lot done, though. With being down on gold with a Huskar draft and no real late game, Boyd, yes, he can scale pretty well, but he's gone for Vlad. He doesn't have all that much farm. And outside of that, the Venomancer, incredibly poor. We're not going to see an Ags anytime soon, so it's not really that carry Veno that can deceptively wipe out your team. It's much more the support Veno that's meant to give vision and keep the Huskar as strong as possible. So I like the way OG are playing after the edges, aggressively forcing towers. They know the window is relatively small, and they're trying to take full advantage of it here.
Well, Faith Beyond has picked up his Blank Dagger now, and it looks like they will more than likely get together for some sort of smoke or, I guess, movement. Well, they have to defend their base at first, but Tier 2 is now getting assaulted with a double damage route from Miracle. A lot of damage, and No Tail will help out by throwing some poison.
Especially with all the stats from Armor, this hurts. But going to be forced back now. The Tinker spam. It limits the amount of time you spend hitting tower, even if you don't kill him.
And this will go again. He'll toggle nicely just to avoid any significant damage. But yeah, I agree with you in the fact that they're very underfarmed, especially No Tail. But here we go.
I want to point out Shadow saving gold here.
Such a reward, but that's smoke coming out from Moon, so they don't see him there.
He's got 3,000. I'm wondering what the spend build is.
Thought he would buy Blank, but he's bypassing that for the time being.
So if it's not Blank, it could be a BKB, which is very good this game. For obvious reasons. There's a lot of stuns, there's a lot of magic damage. Other item that we do see against Huskar, Silver Edge. I don't think it's generally the best spend item. And there is now Evasional Miracle to worry about, so I still think it's a possibility. And if anyone's going to do something a bit unconventional, it likely would be Wings.
Yeah. Unconventional is in there.
But if he's going to go for that, I don't think he'll buy any of the... Yeah, there you go. Shadow Blade.
Call. The Silver Edge will be done in a little while. He still needs, obviously, the Ultimate Orb. Not to mention the recipe as well. As there should still be a recipe.
He needs... so after this, he needs BKB... sorry, BKB and MKB. That's the build here. So then you have a way to deal with all of the magic. Sure, there's a Chrono still, but there's not that much physical damage in OG. It's very limited. Huskar is primarily magic damage control with the late game.
Yeah. Dangerous part about this, but I think No Tail still needs those levels. He still needs that farm, and he's just not there. Whether they need a Midas or something to catch him back up remains to be seen. Ancient Seal Miracle only lasts for a half a moment.
Going deep.
Now he's actually about to lose that Ancient. False Promise will come through. That's a lot of damage he's dealing with over time. They need more Purifying Flames. And he might fall here. No?
No.
He's fine.
Oracle.
He gets Purifying Flame, and then he has like a level 2 Inner Vitality, more than enough somehow to keep him alive. March is going to miss here. Now the second one will come through. Aegis has been reclaimed, and they will know. The Miracle needs to be a bit more careful now. Force
they find Ice Ice. There's stops from Crit. Long range initiation. They look for a lasso.
They're going to find Miracle. Counter initiation going through. Not there. They can stop on the node. He's in trouble with Faith Beyond. Purifying Flames is in Declare. Off the mark. Stop coming through. It hits up beautifully on the 2. Jump in. Moon still has that Chrono. Ice Ice right in here. Moon, no, goes down to the pure damage of that laser.
They still get 2 though. They lose the Bat Rider as well as the Ogre on the side of Wings. Creep in from Shadow. Shadow was not there when the team wanted to fight. I think they should have just let that tower go, but it still works out okay. They get a Void for a Bat Rider trade. They lose an extra Ogre. Not the end of the world, but I would say OG has to be pretty happy with that Aegis. They get 4 towers out of it. They get the kill advantage. They've completely wiped out the Wings lead.
Yeah.
So they have bought themselves some time.
They just, again, they need to find farm on someone other than Miracle. Moon is... With that death, it puts him behind the Venomancer, and he was ahead of him for a fair bit. But look at the net worth graph, dipped down. Now in OG's favor for the first time this game, but you talked about it the late game. Not that strong for OG. For Wings, Shadow's going to be forced directed with, and a Blink, of course.
OG are also not very good at dealing with Tinker. They don't have Storm, they don't have Bat Rider. even a Nyx. Elder Titan can slightly scout and deal with him. You have Void is okay catch once he gets a Blink Dagger, but it's by no means great. And I think it is a really good Tinker game heading late. So I worry a bit for OG if they have not gotten a lane of racks, or at least forced Wings into a deep economic hole by 30 minutes, then I think they're in trouble. But they will have the next Roshan, and that's the Aegis to me, where they have to be breaking base. They're totally bottling this squad up. And I mean, you can already see how confident Blink is. He pushes the top lane into the tier 3 tower. He then jumps into the trees behind that tower and TP's out without any trouble.
He life breaks, but actually still gets blasted in the end. I thought he was going to be able to dodge it within. Wow, the fire blast and all the damage coming in. Dead Huskar for 40 seconds.
Hunting bottom lane. He wants crit, but crit just walks away.
There was the sentry there that more than likely spotted out the silver, the Shadow for the spend. He actually does not go for the silver edge right away. He picks up the Ogre Club. As you mentioned, BKB, a very important item for the spend in this game, and I think that's what he'll be going for next, I have to assume.
The downside with Silver Edge is you got to get into the fight, and with Warcry and Shadowblade, you've decent move speed, but OG they need to keep sentries down, but if they do, he's just got to run in, and they see him coming, they can disengage, they can maybe drop a chrono on him, so...
No Tail has a Hurricane Pike.
They want to kite the Sven here.
I guess so. That seems interesting.
I think it's just about kiting the Sven.
I mean, and I think it's a fine choice, but he needs to use Hurricane Pike right
his
now.
His auto attack damage, though, is not very impressive.
No. Stop. Oh, just barely out of time for crit. It's 20 seconds with Roche respawning as well. Good split push happening across the map for Wings. Yeah, kiting the Sven, but obviously at some point you have to imagine he goes for the Aghanim Stitch for the Venomancer. It's just too good of an item to pass up. But
especially with Chrono, you kind of if you get a good Chrono, you guarantee you can hit the Poison Nova on everyone in the team fights.
Yeah.
But I think this more speaks to Notel struggling a bit to farm and feeling like he's constantly being threatened. And the supports are not going to save Notel. Like, they're going to be exclusively focused, everyone will be exclusively focused on trying to save Huskar, so he's got to be a little more independent with his items.
Roshan is now up and alive, and there's no real vision for either team over towards that pit, with the one exception being that ward.
I think it's probably like 80% magic.
Yeah,
put a number on it.
The Burning Spears are magical damage as well. Yeah. So I mean, the Poison Sting, I think, physical, I believe.
No, it's magic.
Magic as well. So yeah. You have Time Lock on top of that. I mean, almost everything is magical.
But they've got an Alpha Wolf, so it's okay.
It's, yeah,
but that's where BKB shuts you down pretty damn hard.
I don't know how you kite a 10-second BKB spend. You can't. I mean, that's the whole point of the BKB to begin with, I think.
So he's gonna have BKB, and then I think basically if Ben gets the Silver Edge MKB, I think the game's over. Barring him just throwing his life away for nothing, but if he's able to even hit 3 or 4 times in the fight, Huskar is dead, and likely several supports with him, so OG operating on a bit of a clock, at least it looks to be the case. And Notel also not farming that well, Moon isn't farming that well, no one is itemizing for late game, there's no Midas on the Void, nobody else is building Parrot. It's really all focused on this timing for OG.
I thought they would go that round and go for Midas, but I think if they go late game, they have to deal with the Tinker, and you already talked about them dealing with the Tinker is almost an impossibility, and then it's Sven.
He has no fear. How often have you seen a Tinker just... He's always pushing at towers, with all 5 OG heroes missing. He's just not afraid.
I think they know something's up, perhaps, for Wings and so they're sitting at the tree line. Yeah, the smoke has come out for OG. They're sitting in the top lane. The creep wave is pushing, and they're probably going to look towards the tier 2 tower. It's the last outer tower of the game for Wings. You you talked about operating on a clock, and that's to be sure, but if they fight into this 10-second BK beat Sven, then I have a bad feeling about OG in this next fight.
Yeah. Wings will defend high ground. Don't expect them to leave the base. And buybacks are still important here, so quickly checking Radiant side, only a Bat Rider buyback.
If they lose that Sven, then they somehow lose that Sven. I don't want to make it sound it's like going to be miraculous. But
OG feeling like they have to go now. They're not going to wait for the AC on Miracle. He's got 2,600 gold and a play mail. He's close, Mod, but he doesn't have it yet.
Does not. He's getting closer and closer as we move forward.
God, good luck pushing it.
He is If they saw the rocket, they are like, well,
the pain.
Laser's gonna come out and it's just gonna take down everybody.
Even with an Oracle beating the Husker, this is still tough going.
They'll start doing some damage to the tower. We'll get Stormhammer. No BK beats the Husker himself. Ice Ice is coming in with maybe a knife stop to it. Ice Ice from there, dodge it. Laser, that is a dead miracle, I believe.
They're tempted to go in. They're tempted to track that Aegis.
That's AT'ing save miracle play. Very close. 2 minutes for that Aegis still.
They're not doing. Actually, they did decent damage to the tower.
Here we go, though. The wraparound for Wings. They're going to lead the way with the Bat Rider. And they get a blink last.
They want to last on the Oracle here.
Oh, Fly's in trouble. He's going to get caught. They're going to bring him back. And now he can't fall down himself. Hammer. And here comes the penalty.
Oh, got it. Record time to the shadow. Straight into the Yule Step. They're going to ignore the Husker for now. Come back to him. A triple kill for Big Daddy Shadow. Red will down as well. A white. And somehow Husker salvage the fight.
I'd say no. He's silenced up Stormhammer. It's locked down in place. It's an ultra kill for Shadow when it's all said and done.
He's hitting from a 600 and attack with Bloodlust. And I think OG have officially missed their timing.
Well, I'd say so. That is an understatement, and now OG are about to get 2-0'd by Wings.
He's got a Silver Edge now if he wants it. I assume he'll complete the Silver Edge next. He could get a Blink. Like, even though you have Shadow Blade, Blink is much more reliable initiation.
Is there any way for OG to get back into this game right now? I mean, they just don't have the late game in comparison to Wings.
They have very little. They have heroes that could go late game, like if Venno went Ags, or like often we used to see Midas Venno into Ags. If he went for a greedier build, if the Void went for a greedier build, I would say then OG has decent late game, some potential, but given the way they've itemized, I think it's extremely unlikely they will win in a straight up late game fight.
We see the replay coming in, and it's just the lasso. They really needed that false promise, but Fly gets caught, and then you can see Shadow come in for the backside. He immediately, and they line up for him too.
And they silence the Moon there was also really big, very well played by the innocent Skyreth made. So they have no Chrono to reset the fight. They have no Oracle to keep the Huskar alive, and then Shadow just gets to kill everyone. Just Wings having the perfect idea about how to execute the fight, getting off all their spells, and from there, there's just nothing OG can really do.
And so, they're already one victory in their belt with Wings in this group. They're both tied 4-3 as we stand right now. Already though, EG I think are sitting at the top, sitting 6-2 currently. And so this is getting to be a tougher and tougher group day by day right now, with Wings taking this game over OG, which is a high possibility after that last engagement. It can be very troublesome for OG. However, the game is not over yet. Moon is still farming rather well, with of course the Huskar now finishing up with the Selkiros. However, there has been a newly picked up Blink Dagger for Shadow, I believe.
No, it's a Silver Edge.
Silver Edge, okay.
At 1,400 gold.
He can get a Blink Dagger if he wants pretty soon.
Yeah, I think he'll go MKB. Just so he can be the ultimate ping tank in the fights. But we'll see. There's lots of good Sven items. And I don't think they're going to have that much trouble killing the Huskar, even with the evasion. Though KB is the guaranteed way to maximize their damage output. He could go tankier, the Heart, or the Satanic.
It's only 25% evasion. I mean, we talk about evasion a lot and how, like...
It's no butterfly, but it's still pretty good.
A lot of the damage is still being done elsewhere as well. I mean, we always talk about... And again, Berserker's Blood's very good, don't get me wrong. But if Fly is dead, they can kill him through magic damage, honestly.
The tricky thing for Fly is he's got to sit very far back. But he's up against the Bat Rider. And so they'll likely have the vision advantage as the game moves along. We see a Gem now in Innocence, like that pickup a lot. OG don't have the same level of dewarding potential. So inside the base, sure they'll be fine, but when you go out on the map against the Bat Rider team with the Gem and you don't have one, you're gonna have a tough time ensuring your Oracle stays alive and gets off a good Fate's Edict.
Well, right now, Wings have slowed this game down a fair bit. They have Batrider in a position looking for a Blink Blast. So for whoever decides to defend that top lane with OG, they could use a couple more towers. That mid-tier 2 and bottom tier 2 for Wings still standing allows OG to be able to farm a bit more and stay in this game despite the Sven having a pretty serious net worth advantage and the Tinker getting to that point. But OG are looking...
It's easy to forget that there is a Tinker in this game.
I mean...
The Sven's getting all the highlights, he's the big hitter, but Tinker is buying them time. Tinker eventually gets very scary in his own right. He can just burst the crap out of the Oracle.
There's that day gone. This is where he starts getting scary.
He will also have eyes for Fly.
Yeah.
Likely not going to try to nuke down Miracle. Maybe it will blind him, but...
He needs to avoid the fate. I think that's the only problem is the 100% magic resistance. So.
Well, you got to cast it first, and good Tinkers can combo their spells in very short succession, so
absolutely.
Assuming he gets it off, though, it is something to keep in mind.
Moon will pick himself up a Yasha for what will be more than likely a Manta style to Manta out of number 1, the Agent Seal, and number 2, to just have some extra damage in a Chronosphere team fight.
Yeah, that's a really good play. The Agent Seal was the nail in the coffin for that last team fight. Maybe if he got off a good Chrono, they could have turned it, but without it, there was no chance, so he needs a way to deal with this. BKB would be an option. I guess Lincolns would be an option. We've actually seen Wings go for the Lincolns on Void before, but Manta has an easier build up for free. And also scales a bit better.
Right through another long game. Looks to be getting up to at least 40 minutes so far. OG will go for Roche again. We'll give them some more time, but it is going to be Wings moving together. Not only the guys with smoke, but just as a whole, moving across the map.
Shadow's not coming with them, though. He's hitting top. I don't know if Wings care that much if OG get an agent. Looks like they don't have a risk.
Although they have the Batrider coming over here, and he's looking for a nice flame break. Again, it was close to having that good flame break like he had the first time around, but no such luck. And it'll be the Aegis again for Miracle, no surprises there. It's the second overall response for no cheese.
They want to fight against the Aegis when it was a dead even game, and now they're up 8,000 gold, and their lineup scales.
Oh, it was cheese. It wasn't for Roshan. I spoke too soon.
Ooh, yeah, will cheese matter? Probably not. There's the Fenno as extra mana. He's gonna get up 1 poison level, but maybe they could pass it to the Huskar. Probably the main big play OG could make.
He just ate it. Believe. He literally just ate that cheese. He did. No Tail just ate the cheese. But it's on the courier.
Uh-oh.
It's not. I heard that cheese noise that you get when you eat it. Ow. And I was like, well, unless either he was getting killed by the Tinker, which there's a slight possibility, or
he was just hungry.
He just was hungry at that point. And wanted to eat.
I don't think cheese really matters for OG anyway, so.
Well, there's a smoke coming out for Wings. They'll move across the map together. There's no one down to the bottom lane, but they will be able to push into that tier 2 tower. They want to go for that particular choice. They get up towards the top, or maybe pushing mid. There's a lot of options here. So far, it looks like the heading for Wings is currently the right of the map and into that bottom lane.
So they get a Lotus Orb here. They have a lot of ways to deal with the Batrider Lasso now. And another tool to help keep the Huskar alive. It's still going to be tough somewhat. All it takes is really just the Sven getting 4 or 5 auto attacks off. The whole team will be dead. Remember, they push now into a very very scary Tinker. Dagon could be leveled up significantly.
Hey, what level is this? I think
it's level 3 if he wants to buy, but he is saving for buyback, which is definitely the safe play for Blink here.
They all have buyback, I would imagine. Sven, Batrider as well as Tinker have that Huskar is Void. Stop onto Ice, or excuse me, not Ice.
And the laser. So Miracle trying to back out. They a couple hundred points of damage to the tower.
Good chip, but it's just not enough. Here comes the Counter-Wall. He's got the Stormhammer. He's got Aegis. Good Lotus Storm. False Promise as well. In fact, they did.
But he didn't commit anything. He just committed a Silver Edge cooldown. That's it. No BKB, no God Strength. Siege is over for OG. If they stay around and Sven goes in again, they're going to get crushed. So they have to wait for this false promise.
They're going to go back mid instead, and No-Tail's going to clear this out and look to get towards his next item. He gets a Lotus Orb, by the way.
This just shows why Wings didn't really care that much about the Roche, right? Like, they know, even with an agent, OG is still going to have a very hard time doing anything with it.
Oh,
Moon, good time walk. He was very close to getting Versus down. Crit trying to chase him down. Stomp again. It's going to be too short. He has the Earth instead. The stomp will go. Blink going down here will be used. They've got Archer. He's going to use it. The Earth will come out. Crit Blank is in trouble and dies to Crit's giant ultimate. That was a great catch from the Yule Scepter and a little bit of too much aggression from that mid lane.
Now they find Ice mid. Wayne's getting sloppy here, thinking it's a one game, but it ain't entirely over yet. And that hero does not have buyback. No Ogre for
about a minute.
50 seconds.
Yeah.
Tinker may have to buy back there. I don't think they can defend it up.
They need March and spend as much damage as he can do on his own with the 9-second BKB duration. It's going to be close. I don't think he can quite do it on his own. There's the buyback coming through. Now do OG proceed or...
Yeah, they want to go to top. That's the lower HP tower. They don't have the creep wave here though, so they're only going to have this one moment to siege it. It does get in time, but Shadow's working on it.
Connect on it. Break running through. Miracle push back. That Aegis is gone with the Stormhammer and Laser coming out. They have no chrono again. Yule Scepter will come through. Time walk out. Time to the dilation. There's the last one. Good false promise. Jump in. Faithion might be in trouble. Mystic Flare's already down. Faithion's low. Will die to the poison sting. Stomp is up. Shadow's BKB. Not doing enough. The false promise was great. They're going to work in practice. Shadow's moving back in.
But Satanic is down now. He needs the phase in. They're alive. Not going to happen. Oh, it was close though. It really was.
They killed just about everyone in that fight. Tinker gets himself a triple kill with that laser.
OG did everything they could there. They Lotus Orb the lasso. The Huskar had the evasion procs and Satanic his way through the initial God Strength auto attack barrage. They slowed down the fight as much as possible. They get the pick off on Tinker beforehand. They force out the buyback. They just didn't have anything left in the tank after that initial barrage. And once all those cooldowns are gone, then just wins the fight against Huskar. A really good flame break to catch him out. Now Blink out of control. 4 kills in a row for the Tinker player. And with that, he continues to spam Dagon's recipes. Now a level 4 Dagon with the Aether Lens as well.
Might be getting a clear blade later on down the road, but at this point, you know, I don't think it's that bad for OG. I mean, they forced out the buyback, like you said, for Tinker. He's down. If he dies again, he's dead for a good 100 seconds or so, maybe a little bit less. And then you just have to deal with the spin. And BKB's getting lower and lower as we speak, at least, so...
It's not that bad in the sense that, like, they did everything they could, but I think it's pretty bad in terms of their chances of winning.
Yeah.
They really need to kill the Tinker and try to take an objective while he doesn't have buyback. But if he's allowed to just get buyback for free, it's very tough. And OG recognizes they have Chrono up, Travis. They're moving in.
They are looking for a fight. Blink will be the first to TP away. Innocence and Shadow walking out. They really want more than just a support. They would like Shadow to begin with. Faith Beyond as well would be a nice pickup.
They're all getting out of there. There is no TP on Shadow though. I don't. Maybe OG saw that. Oh, sorry, he's got BOTs now. What am I talking about?
And Faith Beyond will be able to TP out as well. So yeah, they might have just seen the smoke. I mean, they smoked pretty much right underneath the tier 3 tower.
Yeah.
When there was creeps still just about there, so maybe it was seen by the creeps, but I don't think it was the case.
Well, that just shows you how desperate OG is and how little faith they have in their late game. They know they need to be making moves now. Huskar has reached his pinnacle. He doesn't really get much bigger from here. He can buy moon shards, he can replace some of these items, but in a man fight against a Sven, he's just not going to win, and especially not when there's a Tinker backing that Sven up who's incredibly farmed. Void is just not anywhere near carry status. Elder Titan is a good scaling support, but I think Warcry, Wayne's have good solutions for the Elder Titan, and your Venomancer is, it feels like utility Venomancer. It doesn't feel like one that can take the game over. So, Wayne's calming down now, feeling confident. They could honestly farm for 10-15 more minutes, and they may want to completely max out the Sven's inventory, to get more farm on the Tinker, to ensure they have buyback, maybe to try and take the next Roche. Hell, Ogre can get an Aghanim Scepter. He's closing in on that, so I don't think Waynes are in any hurry, and rushing it is where they could potentially throw the game.
But that's what we saw earlier when the Ogre died, when Blink died, when he got caught out in Blink. Oh man, he almost finished that TP. In fact, they might think he did. They might think he TP'd and blinked across the tree line, but...
Yeah, they know the Tinker dieback is the key.
And they're waiting for it. Oh man, he keeps doing it.
Hey guys!
He knows. I feel like Blink knows.
He definitely knows. He's like, hey guys, I'm coming bottom. Really? I'm bottom. Not really. Toying with OG.
He goes mid
almost taunting them, I would say.
God, that's so frustrating for OG. I mean,
They're in a great position to kill him if he walks up and he goes to that bottom lane, but it's just, look how far away he is now. He's gonna come up large, but
he should only be going with the team. As I say that, he goes bottom, but it's much farther back. That's a more difficult place for OG to get to without being scouted, and he's already back to the top lane.
And now with the smoke coming out from Wings, they're looking to, I guess they're gonna push out top quickly. And if they don't find anything up here, they can just surprise and go for the base. They probably won't, though. Again, like we talked about, they want to farm. Roche is up, and OG might get it again. And again, you've talked about this numerous times, so they don't really care that OG are getting Roche.
It's still important for OG, but it's more OG needed to have a chance. Wings, if they get it, are just in total control of the game.
Ogre has an negative
This time, though, Travis, this time Wings are moving that way.
It's too late. They can't get there in time, but they can split push top effectively.
They have vision on fly. This is kind of tempting. They know where the Oracle is. The bat's hunting him.
There's the Yule Scepter. Fly might get caught. Chrono Spear is ready to moon. Fly blown away with right to him. Too much, and Moon will follow suit.
And now Miracle down in the river. He's isolated. He's getting blown up by an Oracle and Skyred base. They almost killed poor Miracle.
Got a Satanic ready. It's 1 for 2 right now. BKB TP, no way to stop it. And Shadow will get out, and he was getting rather low. It's a nice play, getting 2 kills from Shadow. God Strength, it was used there, down for 64 seconds. BKB as well, now down to 7.
Yeah, they can't do anything, though. No Chrono, no Oracle. They need all 5 for OG to see.
Absolutely. They're back up to 33 seconds. Bird will take some serious damage with this March. He needs to be careful because if there's TP in there, and he's just dead to at least a Dagon, if not more.
I mean, that's what I mentioned earlier. If they have vision of Oracle, they're almost certainly going to jump him. There's really nothing Fly can do about it unless he has a super quick reaction on the blink, and then he's just dead. And now that Batrider has a Eul's, if he sees you, he's just going to blink Eul's you, you take damage, you can't blink out, and you're going to die. So, tough game for Fly at this point when he's outside his own base, and even within his own base. There's still like cheeky moves you can do on the side lanes, wrapping around behind the trees and ambushing him anyway.
Routes of travel picked up now for the Huskar to be able to move around the map a bit more effectively. We do see an ultimate orb for the Venomancer. What are you thinking? I mean, there's only a couple of options, obviously, and one of them being a Lincoln Sphere. Scotty would be very, very surprised to see that.
Oh, Moon!
Oh, God. He was just respawned, and he died.
He's dead! He's already dead, guys!
He actually had enough for buyback before he came back into the lane. Now he doesn't, but it'll be up in like 10 seconds anyway. He's actually
Stop hitting him.
Poor Moon. He had some good chronos this game, but it's just not enough.
Shadow, oh, bottom lane.
Shadow's gonna come through, and they will get the onslaught from the Dagon laser.
No tell next.
Yeah, they're gonna die to the next player. Grit's gonna limp away, but only for a moment. And Blank comes in, shoots him down with the laser. Zap, indeed. 3 dead now. Crit with no buyback. Luckily, No Tail does have it. Miracle is gonna have to do some work along with Fly on their own. This is where this game is starting to get close to epic ending here for OG.
I think this is gonna take 2 thrown fights in a row for Wings. Will they throw any?
Well, Miracle, he did halberd up 1 with Shadow. Stormhammer will go. Miracle will take damage. He still has the Satanic. Strength is up. Shadow still has the BKB and other laser coming through, and Miracle continues to take damage.
He can't even walk into the fight. He has no counter for the laser, and now Sigur's the player we can constantly spam it, constantly prevent him from auto-attacking. It is looking real bleak for OG. Look at how patiently Wings are playing this. They're going to push out those other lanes, reset a bit. Honestly, I think they could have stuck around, but with the Veno, the Elder Titan respawning, why take the risk? They lost some games they probably feel they shouldn't have yesterday. The 2-0 against TNC, the main thing that comes to mind. So ensuring a clean 2-0 against OG, with EG doing as well as they are in the group, as you pointed out, that's really important for them.
It's just Wings has OG's number somehow. For some reason, OG cannot get over this Wings hump, and luckily
it's like the same way. It's funny. We have like this kind of rocks paper scissors thing going on where Navi just can't seem to figure out how to deal with OG, and well, now Navi's struggling against our teams, it appears. But certain teams are there are just bad matchups for some teams in Dota, and this. I think OG could beat Wings. I don't think they're a worse team, but I do feel like for whatever reason Wings is just a difficult opponent.
There's just something about the draft or the playstyle that Wings has that OG simply can't get over.
And they're very unpredictable.
Yeah.
That support lane,
No, that was support out of left field as it gets, I think, in that situation, and it worked. It worked beautifully.
It was their MVP. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, like sometimes you'll pick that unusual hero and you,
some cheeky thing,
and you win in spite of it. They won because of the support.
The adaptive strike, we saw it. Like that's why it was picked up in the off lane for so long. It's because it had that long duration stun. It was obviously a lot of, Universe played it a fair bit. We got to see it a lot in the NA region, but that was played in the off lane. To see it in a support role and to have the farm that he had was incredible. So Wings clearly very comfortable with all of these crazy picks, including the Scarlet Mage this time around, which is done. It's done some work, obviously, not as much as they would have, I think, liked, but
he won them that fight top when he silenced the Void, and so I think just for that alone, Innocence has made his mark on the game.
Yep. Wings are now sitting comfortably at a 15, almost 20,000 net worth advantage, and continuing to just choke OG out of their base pretty much and say, listen, if you want to come fight, you could try. We have great vision. You're pushing in every single corner. There's not much you can do here, and Aegis is, well, it's not going to do much for you guys as it's gone for Miracle. And No Tail, do they have the cheese is the question. Who picked it up? They don't have the cheese. They did.
This is a lactose intolerant team.
And they must be eating it again or something, I don't know. But,
doesn't matter. They're lactose intolerant anyway.
Bloodstone now picked up for the Tinker, so he's got mana regeneration. The Wazoo no longer needing the bottle.
Top lane though, they do find the Tinker.
He's going to stop it. Blink is in trouble. They need more help. The Earth Splitter will come out next.
Suicide.
Chronosphere coming out. He won't be able to Bloodstone. He's going to go down. Crit gets the kill. Another good pick off, but the Bloodstone respawn time is only 60 seconds, and he does have buyback. And how much does that actually give them, LD?
They don't have Aegis. Buybacks available on 3 heroes, including the Tinker. OG might try to push, but I don't think they can break the base. Another pick or two, or the Tinker being forced to buy back and then dying again, then things are different, but look at Faith Beyond.
They know that he's like making his way. They saw him with an Observer Ward. He's CPing through.
Hello.
He'll make it out in time. They just didn't have
so much space created. All right, they're definitely not pushing.
That wasn't, like they all rotated over there.
Does he know they have this ward? He might know they have the no ward.
I think they would know now.
That's a very common anti-Tinker ward, so.
What did he do that play for to begin with? Miracle?
Well, he's trying to waste their time. They just want to cut waves, slow down OG, and wait out this respawn. And they're about to be done waiting it out.
If this was anybody other than Shadow, I would say Miracle could find this kill. Unfortunately, it is Shadow.
Shadow will destroy him in a 1v1.
Shadowblade comes out. Now they're trying to fight. She's ready to get Yules up at this point in time. He's in trouble. Flame break back. Here comes Shadow without the God Tree behind him. Still doing some serious work. Stops us out. They had used the false promise on Crit. They get off the ult from the Venom to jump in. Shadow's BKB spot is going to work. They have to get up both of these heroes.
Wait on that fighting. The Silver Edge, a couple seconds to go.
Got the face hitting him. This man fight. He still has the Satanic. He's getting low. The burning spears. He's about to die as well. He's got buyback. Meanwhile, this March is going to work. They have lost life. Moon comes in, still has the Chronosphere, but he's out of mana.
He didn't get the Silver Edge off on the Huskar. That completely changes that engagement. Miracle, very difficult to deal with at that point. OG do fight the kill. He's got buyback.
They want to force it, definitely.
Radiant buybacks, they have 4 right now. There are 4 on the Dire. Wayne's getting sloppy here down the stretch. Feeling like the game is in hand. No God Strength for 30.
They're losing the Venomancer ultimate, but that's up in 60 or 50 seconds, and Miracle will continue to pressure. They would probably like to get the top lane of Rax, but they want a tier 3 instead, and they're doing some serious work with the Assault Turrets. And Vitaly will come out, False Promise will be up when he's alive in 15 seconds. Still, they're missing their Oracle. Big detriment to this fight. Mark will come through, stomp it, come with the Faith Beyond. They take down the tier 3 tower, LD. Look at this Rax. Blast is going to come out. There comes the nice low charge. Those ladies will come through and get the flare. They're jumping in, they get the corner on the flank. Can they get it done?
And force the buyback. He has Silver Edge. He's got his whole combo ready. Can he turn this fight the way he did earlier? Convo's running. Miracle's running. Shadow on the chase, but he doesn't have that much mobility. Missiles raining in, but they managed to find the Elder Titan, so 3 do fall. They hold the high ground, but it cost them a double core buyback. And they lost the range Rex to tier 3.
Oh my god.
Ben was so close to respawning there. He needs an MKB.
They just have to kill Shadow and like one more time and they win the game. That's all that it takes at this point.
Well, that was one throne fight. Will there be a second?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not playing MKB.
He went Assault Cuirass.
Oh, he needs an MKB.
Yeah, more than likely, I would say. Although, again, the evasion, it's only 25%. It is still...
It definitely screwed him in that fight.
Absolutely.
In the fight mid. Taker is able to keep the Huskar blinded. It's okay at that point, because Huskar won't be hitting either, but I still think you get MKB here.
Suddenly, Miracle is at the top of the network chart, seemingly out of nowhere. And he has 4,000 gold, and he's roughly 6 slotted. I mean, you can get rid of your armlet and get something else, a heart or something. I don't know, maybe not a heart, but I don't know what you pick up as a Huskar at this point in time. You can get a moon shard.
Moon shard.
Probably.
Halberd could be replaced by, well, Butterfly eventually, especially with Sven not getting maybe, but that's looking pretty far off, because he's still wants is saving for buyback. That is really what matters for Miracle right now.
How much surplus does he have? 3,800. He's going to buy something here, it looks like, or he's just running to the Ancients, one of the two. Okay.
No checking Roche.
He's just going to run to the Ancients. Roche is, by the way, up in roughly 10 seconds, maybe a little bit less.
Do Waynes want to risk contest? They have a DD Sven, sure.
If they risk contesting and they lose the Sven or Blink or both of them, the game ends, I think, unless they should have all on buyback on OG.
OG has 3. No Oracle buyback, no Void
buyback is kind of important. Yeah, they can't contest this. It looks like they don't want to anyway.
Well, the 3 agents and cheese for OG, what happens to this cheese? The tale of the cheese chronicles.
Please don't need it. You really needed the cheese, guys. I think Moon's gonna get one of these items more than likely Aegis.
This is episode 3 of the cheese chronicles.
And then no tail will be the cheese. He's already eaten it once.
The cheese. Return of the cheese. Revenge of the cheese.
You know, we might be giving them time because I feel like Tinker must have been doing like some damage to them, and they might have actually needed to use the cheese, and we just haven't seen it.
All right. Well, revenge of the cheese this time. No tail is gonna hang on to it for now. Shadow, no buyback. There's a Blink Chrono available. They're just assuming there's people behind Shadow. Otherwise, they would have jumped him there, I think, with the Chrono. If he was alone, he could have just died there, and the game could potentially be over. But
what a Blink dagger. That was insane. He was waiting for it, basically on about to last. So
they're looking on the
Sven. When he comes in, he actually gets off the Chrono Sphere onto the Sven Shadow. What is going to come through next? No BKB. They get up ahead of the time. He might go down. He's got no buyback if he falls, and he's dead. That's it. Ice might be next as well. Everyone low for OG from the Mars, but 103 seconds without that Sven.
Instant Abyssal, or instant Basher purchase for Miracle, and OG have, like you said, 100 seconds to try and punish this grave error, and now, to add to their woes, there's a second Hex on OG, what was nearly a 20,000 gold lead, a better late game lineup, and complete control of the map is quickly evaporating.
I've said it so many times, LD. Wings, they just need to make sure they don't beat themselves, and they're doing that right now.
OG, don't get me wrong. OG are making they're making good plays here down the stretch, but some sloppiness from Wayne could come back to haunt them as OG move in.
They're gonna try to go for the engagement, looking to take down this first set of racks of the game. Miracle will do the job. Flip, it is not there, I don't believe, and they will take it down. And as one set of racks will move up to top, Miracle and Moon, they're going to work. They still have Satanic up for Miracle. They should have false promise. The laser comes out, Moon. Time walking off that damage. And the melee rack top lane, more than likely about to fall, and it will.
And how do they initiate the fight?
Dimension Flare, they do take down one, and then it's going to be flying the Oracle. Moon might be next, though, and Miracle. The laser comes through. They have to get out.
Spends up at 20. 2 lanes of racks down. Don't see Wings tapping out until the throne is dropped with how good their late game is, but Miracle stands his ground. He's going to heal up on the creeps. Ice likely wants to go back in. A stretch volley of missiles coming towards Ben, respawning at 10. That is the cue for OG to back out. 2 lanes, critical damage, but not entirely fatal. They now have a 2 lanes of Rax edge at 55 minutes.
2 more minutes for buyback for both the Tinker as well as the Sven. I don't know if they go again in the next 2 minutes. It's very tough. And that lasso, the double lasso was incredible. I'm sure they got the kill on the Oracle, but didn't do nearly enough. They needed the Sven. If that's a double lasso with a Sven there, they cleave down both of those heroes. They're just dead, but
I think he's going to just straight up lose fights to Miracle now. Miracle has the Abyssal Blade, Shadow's AC, helps the team a bit, but to me, he needs an MKB and/or Missile of his own. And the item that has proven to be underwhelming this game is the Silver Edge. He's rarely gotten it off on the spin in fights. OG always have protection.
Oh, his MKB is about to be completed as
so
well.
he's going to get rid of the armlet here.
He's not saving for buyback right now. Even he's gonna have it, like I said, like now about a minute and a half. And if he buys this Demon Edge,
it still all just comes down to initiation. Like even if he has MKB, if they chrono him and Huskar hitting him all the time and then abyssals him, they have double hacks. Like Shadow can be just controlled for days. There's no Linked Sphere, there's no Lotus Orb on Wings. They don't have a great defensive support. So even with an MKB, Sven in a team fight could easily die from pulling 3 to nothing. So it all comes down.
Here has a double damage room, and this is a critical time to pause, apparently for Phase Beyond. And this is maybe do or die. They know the timing on these buybacks, and still with about 45 seconds or so, Sven will not have it regardless.
What a time for a pause.
So, as we said, Sven will not have it regardless. The Tinker will have it in 46 seconds. This
series has gone over 2 hours of gameplay, not counting the draft time. It's been probably, what, 140, 150 minutes of Dota just for 2 games, showing you just how evenly matched Wings and OG really are. Already, this has been such a treat. I really hope these teams play on the next stage. And I hope we get the same back and forth level of Dota, but still hangs in the balance, Mott. I really think whoever gets the better initiation wins these fights. OG have more insurance policies, though, because they have the double hex, they have the Lotus Orb, the Linked Sphere. They also have the buyback advantage with 5 buybacks to 1, and a lot of just defensive abilities. They have the edge, they have the Rax advantage. This is going to take a really good fight from Wings to turn it around.
Miracle is chopping down his tower, spearing it down with his double damage rune that's going to run out.
Wraparound might take too long. Oh, they're going to glyph. Miracle likely just going to back. No, the counter smoke.
No Tail has been found out first. He gets the hex off in time, and No Tail. He gets off the ultimate. There's the Chronos Field, hits on the Shadow and Face Beyond.
And Miracle getting blinded by Blake. He's going to TP out with the Abyssal cancels, and they're going to lose the Tinker here.
They might lose Megas as well. Tinker trying to TP out, cannot make it in time. He's down for 83 seconds. Sven on the hex up again, and Moon will try to bring it down. Meanwhile, Miracle has got Megas LG.
Citizens now caught in the fountain. OG pulling a rabbit out of the hat. Shadow, can he somehow salvage this fight? He's used all his cooldowns. Miracle's gonna come in and wreck him.
Oh, what a magic style from Moon, and here comes Miracle. Shadow be-kited, and now the ultra kill from Miracle will almost certainly end the game. And OG,
look at me.
There it is.
The carry now says Miracle. And OG will salvage what looks like a lost game. Wings are gonna be keeping themselves. Fittingly, he ends it with a rampage, but this was not the Miracle show. This was, more than anything, a team effort by OG and some big blunders by Wings. You have to be very frustrated with how this game ended.
We talked about how OG, yes, there were some mistakes from Wings, but OG were the ones that did come back. They made the plays they needed to make. They were given those plays by Wings, and they did make them. You had Miracle somehow stepping up, and we talked about the late game potential of a Huskar. Screw that. He's going to play his damnedest, and he's going to actually destroy everyone at the end of the game. Moon with great Chronospheres on Shadow, the double hex coming out from both of No Tail as well as Crit, and then of course the Abyssal Blade at the tail end of the game, and they get it done, LD. It was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, like I said, I really want a game 3.
Yeah, I really want a game 3.
No, this is the series I most want a game 3 for. The OG LGD series yesterday was the other one, but whew, what a showing by these teams. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. The action will continue. I believe we have OG coming up again on this stream after the break.
Stream 2, I believe.
Oh, stream 2.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be hopping over there. So hope you guys enjoyed the cast by myself and Mott. We will be continuing to follow OG throughout the day. Lots more Dota ongoing. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, TI6 group stage action rages on.